The Frank Show. Come on, The Frank Show. What? The Frank Show.
Hey, I gotta get back to you. It's been way too long. Aloha, everyone. Frank here, and it's finally time for me to unveil what I've been working on for the past year. Yes, I've seen all your comments, I've read all your messages, and I've been truly humbled by how amazing and supportive this community has been. Now, if you have no idea who I am, I promise you this is not the typical intro, and I have no problem if you skip ahead to the start of the video. Now, without wasting any more of your time, I am proud to introduce The Game Show. A celebration of video games and emerging media, your one-stop shop for news, previews, interviews, trailers, gameplay, and so much more. Rather than focusing on one medium, we'll be looking at the industry as a whole and discussing everything about gaming that brings us together. Now, there won't be any complaining, trashing, or hating because, hey, there's enough of that out there in the real world. No, we are here to have fun, so sit back, relax, and make sure you've charged those joysticks because it's time for The Game Show. This week on The Game Show, we have the latest industry news, devs battle for glory in the Game Show, and the guys behind location-based VR entertainment Zero Latency stop in for a chat. Welcome to The Game Show News Show, your weekly stop for industry scoops. My name's Frank. Let's get it started. First up, 2020 looks like the year of delays. Cyberpunk 2077 has been delayed yet again. No, this time not until 2077, only until September 17th. On top of that, Final Fantasy VII Remake has been delayed until April 10th. And to lay it on thick, Dying Light 2 has also been delayed indefinitely. Now, the way I feel is I would rather have a better game than something rushed right out of the gate, so please take your time. In PlayStation news, they will not be attending E3 yet again this year. They have no problem with the ESA. They just said the E3 would not be the perfect place for their plans in 2020. On top of that, they have also released a back button for the DualShock 4. Yes, if you ever wanted to be a competitive gamer and have those extra buttons on the back, now is your chance. Completely programmable, and they don't even hide that headphone input. In Xbox news, a prototype has been leaked on Reddit. Now, I have no idea where this prototype came from or if it has any look of the final Xbox Series X, but hey, I always like speculating and everybody likes looking at stuff like this. In Nintendo news, Super Nintendo World Theme Park will be opening in Universal Studios in Florida in 2023. Now, I am personally super excited to check this out. There will be one opening up in Japan later this year, but I don't think I'll be flying out there anytime soon. In VR news, The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners is upon us, and it sets a new standard for zombie games in VR. Yes, this one is a blast, and if you have an Oculus, cross-buy is available between the Rift and Quest when that version becomes available. And finally, Harmonix has brought Audica over to the Quest, and it's available now for the price of $29.99, and it's really an awesome rhythm shooter. That's it for the news this week. If we missed anything, please let us know, and we'll see you again next Friday. Welcome to The Game Show. I'm your host, Frank. This is the show where game devs duke it out in a battle of wits to find out who is the best at answering video game trivia. Yes, today we have two lovely guests on the show. Guest, would you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name's Hutch. I do game design.
Hi, my name is Trevor Stevens. I'm Senior Quality Assurance Analyst.
Thank you for coming through. I will ask the question and give the contestants 4 answers, and the first one to give me an audible will have a chance to answer. If they get it wrong, the other contestant will have a chance to steal. Now, without any further ado, let's get this started.
Oh, we're playing a game.
Yeah.
Playing a game, baby.
Competition.
Okay. Our first question, this acclaimed Rocksteady title was initially prototyped as a rhythm game. Is it A, Banjo-Kazooie, B, Urban Chaos Riot Response, C, Batman Arkham Asylum, or D, Batman Arkham VR?
Batman Arkham Asylum.
That is correct. Great job. Steve Downs, a famous DJ from the 70s based out of Chicago, is famously known for the voice of what character? Is it A, Sonic the Hedgehog, B, Master Chief, C, Solid Snake, or D, Mario?
D, Mario.
I'm sorry, but that's the wrong answer. Would you like to steal?
I'm gonna go with B.
That is correct. Great job.
Good job.
I'm on the board. I'm on the board.
We'll be right back after this short interruption. We're back with the Game Show.
Right, I like this trivia.
What was the first video game played in space? Is it A, Pong, B, Super Mario, C, Asteroids, or D, Tetris?
A, Pong.
I'm sorry, but that's the wrong answer. Would you like to steal?
Yes, Tetris.
That is correct. Great job. In 2008, which presidential candidate purchased ads in 18 games? Was it A, Barack Obama, B, John Edwards, C, John McCain, or D, Hillary Clinton?
B, John Edwards.
I'm sorry, but that's the wrong answer. Would you like to steal?
Yeah,
Don't.
Barack Obama.
That is correct. Great job.
It's already over.
Yeah, I mean, there's no chance. Game trivia.
He's got a safe face.
In the original Civilization, a bug in the code could lead a certain character to become nuke crazy very easily. Was it A, Moses, B, St. Peter, C, Ivan the Terrible, or D, Gandhi?
D, Gandhi.
That is correct. Great job.
I knew the answer before you got to it, but I had to make sure which letter it was.
And we have our winner.
Good job.
Good game.
Thank you for coming through. Now, is there anything you'd like to tell our studio audience back home?
No.
We didn't have any preconceived notions. It's like we want to build this thing. It's a combination of like location-based entertainment, like video games, like hardcore technology. It's this crazy hybrid.
My name's Scott Van Donkelen. I'm the CTO and one of the co-founders of Zero Latency.
I'm Tim Bruce and I'm the CEO and one of the co-founders of Zero Latency.
We do really large-scale virtual reality experiences. So instead of being just seated or even standing in the experience, you actually go inside VR and travel through extremely large spaces, sort of 200 square meters, or about over 2,000 square feet.
It's all multiplayer, so the concept is that it's super social. It's 8 players, and everything you're exploring, the majority of what we do is like a much larger digital world. And using a bunch of tricks, we can travel people through 600, 700, 800 sort of yards of travel through the space. So it's all about those longer experiences, higher immersion. We find the longer you're in it, the more you walk, the more you sort of travel around the space, just that higher level of immersion that you get, which is what we're all about.
We sort of had a proof of concept up in about 6 months. I was working on it before we even had an Oculus Rift. We're using a little 7-inch car reverse LCD screen, kind of put something together, and then it was at that moment when we played it and I did that first test when we finally had the Rift, and it just kind of naturally evolved, I guess. I don't think we really saw ourselves going into the location-based entertainment business before. It's not what we worked in, but it was just the natural evolution, really.
We run a couple of different models, but the main one is like a licensed partner model. So people come to us and they go, hey, I really love this tech. I'd love to set it up in the city. We go through like basically a bunch of pro forma sort of ROI and like how you're going to make money out of this, where you want to put it, and work people through pretty much from the idea they want to start the business through to full execution. Look, and we're looking at ways to sort of streamline that, but we're all about making that business side of it as easy to run as possible, and then 24/7 support. So we're very much about the platform and about helping people build out their businesses and keep building great content. So in the process of updating the sites, we've gone out to all our partners and basically working through the ones that want to upgrade and when they're going to do that, which is really exciting. But pretty much everything that we're just shipping now is all Gen 2.
It's hard to actually describe just how much this is changing, what we can do. It's dramatically simplifying all the infrastructure that we install. It's a better experience for the player. Like it's smoother and more fluid, easy to get people into the system.
The Gen 1 technology was all outside in, so cameras essentially tracking everyone in the space and then keeping track of that in a central server. And it was really good, but then it's got upsides and downsides. The biggest one being just installing all the cameras, rigging it all up, running all the cable. It's a hassle. Yeah, it's a hassle and it's expensive and it's not easy to do, and the ceiling height. So what's cool about Gen 2 is it's all Windows mixed reality, inside out tracking, which is just such a game changer. And I think everyone's going, there's not a headset being released now that's not using that technology. And we identified that sort of, which was a few years ago, but waiting for it to mature.
As long as you're sharing it with at least one other person, it's a great thing to do, and it can be quite fun going through the zombie apocalypse when there's only just the two of you.
Quite like the Double Dragon style. Like going in, back to back, it's just you and someone else for 45 minutes or whatever, facing it down. Like actually to me, it's one of my favorite bits, I think. We had one guy playing. We had this essentially simple demo, and the first 3 waves come from the front, and then it's just a classic jump scare. They start coming from the side, and this guy was going through it pretty calmly, and then he got the jump scare. I've actually got it on video, but I don't show it because I don't like humiliate people. But he literally turned, he just screamed, and he just started pulling off the gear, just like, ah! And then he sort of, you could see him just go, oh my God, how embarrassing. But it's like, he was so there, he literally had this like,
down on the ground.
yeah.
He went down.
He went like visceral fear reaction. It's like, wow, this is really powerful. And we had a lot of those early in the piece. I think when you see those reactions though, when you're putting them, like essentially testing out this bizarre psychological experiment you're conducting on people, it's like, here's a thing that, I wonder how this is going to go. And you can like, we got to turn the lights up because it's too dark in there and people are getting really scared. Big focus on getting Soul Raiders and the sort of, the energy we put into that and iterating through that concept, making sure it's fair, it's repeatable, and building out that concept and that universe. It's a full competitive game, and then building, leagues around it, community. How do we get people back? How do we get the combination of good content and good pricing to get people to come back? Because it's ultimately we want to turn it into something that people will do competitively at a league level. It's different, it is quite, like, the physicality of it's quite interesting, having to move people around, and I guess just continuing to experiment with it and bring in a lot of different, like, that game brings in a lot of like gaming concepts, actual concepts from real sport, stuff that we've learned around how to divide the space and move people around, and just keep iterating on that. It's kind of what we're doing internally, and I think it's all settling down and people understanding what works commercially and what works entertainment-wise, and it's really exciting to be part of that. I think in a lot of ways kickstarted to actually prove there's a viable model here. We're doing something that is bigger and more exciting that you can't get at home. Like this is something that is true out of home entertainment. Just hit zerolatencyvr.com and it would take you to the nearest center to you and go check out Soul Raiders, and my recommendation is play the whole suite. If you're interested in VR, man, it's worth playing.
Alright, so what did you think? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are we missing anything? Was it just perfect? Please let us know in the comments below, and we will definitely answer some of your questions on the next show. Now, big thank you to everybody that came through. A round of applause, a thumbs up, and if you think we deserve it, then hey, you can throw us one as well. But more important than all of that is that if you want to stay up to date with any and everything in this industry, and you don't mind looking at this ugly mug right here, friggin' subscribe. I mean, come on. Now, next week on the game show, we have a chat with the team over at Insomniac Games and take a look at the new free-to-play Battle Royale title, Darwin Project, all that and more on the game show.